story to all of you, but I found a version of it that may be the original version that came from India as a folk tale. And it was not really just a children's story as it really is related to now. The story starts with a hot, sunny afternoon, something like it must have been today, when all the animals sought shade anywhere that they could find some comfort from the extreme heat. And they were in sleep, in deep sleep, including Rabbit, Hare. Hare was sleeping in his burrow and was awakened very rudely by a large, loud crash. He was so startled, he woke up and he ran out of the burrow and he looked up and he said, "Oh my God, the sky is falling, the sky is falling." And he started to call and cry and alerted all the other hares that lived nearby. And before you knew it, 10,000 hares left their burrows and they started to follow the first hare who heard the crash. And they ran through the forest as fast as they could. And as they were running, the elk joined them, and then deer, and then tortoise, and all other creatures, big and small, and there were thousands and thousands of animals thrashing through that forest, crushing everything in sight, breaking branches of trees, trampling over ants and caterpillars and beetles and all living things. And the faster they ran, the more frightened they were. And they ran and they ran. And they ran so fast that most of them didn't realize they were approaching a very deep precipice. Many of them went flying over that precipice and fell to their death. But a thunderous roar, and it was the roar of a lion, that stopped them. Because lion represented turning chaos into order. And that was the only thing that would have stopped the frenzy of this run that they were going through. And when they stopped, there was silence for a moment. And then Lion said, "Why are you running? What are you running from? Where are you running to?" And he started to ask each group of animals. Elephant, why are you running? Most of them said, "I don't know." Then he'd go to another one, the elk. "Why were you running?" "We don't know, but we did. Other animals were running and there must have been something to be afraid of, and so we ran too." And Lion went from one group to the other until he came to the group of rabbits and the hare. And he said, "Why are you running?" And they said, "Because we heard Hare. We heard him say the sky is falling, and we were so frightened we started to run away because we didn't know where to go. We just ran, we followed." "Ah," Lion said. He called Monkey over and he said, "Monkey, climb up that tall palm tree and shake it." And Monkey climbed up and all the animals stood and watched. And he shook it and a huge coconut crashed from way up high down to the ground. And Lion said to Hare, "Is that the sound that you heard?" And Hare said, "Yes." "Well, do you think it was the sky falling?" Hare just shook his head. And in silence, all the animals turned and went back to wherever they lived. Not all of them, and Hare, by this time, wasn't running anymore. Perhaps because of injury, perhaps because of shame, perhaps because of just fatigue. He hopped, and he's still hopping to this very day. And George Orwell said that myths that are believed in do become truths. Now that's